All right, well, back with Kevin again. Kevin's messing around with some of this new technology. Actually, it's not that new anymore. This is going back all the way to 2007 on every V8 engine General Motors has made since 2008. So if you have a Chevy truck or Tahoe or Suburban or Yukon, Denali, or whatever you have, it's got a active fuel management system in it. And GMU calls it, actually, the official name is...
Yeah, they call it active fuel management. And what they do is, normally, of course, it's a V8, but under light load situations for fuel economy, they'll actually turn off 4 cylinders.
So it turns a V8 into a 4-cylinder.
Exactly.
Okay.
Yeah.
So what goes wrong here?
Well, what we've seen, and like what we saw on this particular case, the lifters, which are specially designed on those cylinders that are canceled out, fail. They get stuck in the closed position.
Okay.
And of course, to fix that requires taking the engine apart. In fact, in this design, the cylinder heads actually have to come off
to actually replace it. So here's a good lifter, and you can see the spring is fully extended, and it would take up the slack in that passageway there, so that the valves don't rattle. You won't hear that tapping noise in the engine.
Exactly.
Well, and then here's the failed one, and you can see that spring is totally collapsed, and it's allowing a 3/8 of an inch or more gap to be created, and so you hear this tap, 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 and it's not going to go away until you replace this. But what controls the oil flow to this is that.
Yeah, they call this the valve lifter oil manifold.
Oil manifold.
It just rolls off the tongue, right?
Yeah.
The VLOM is what they call it. So this thing is electrically controlled and directs oil to those cylinders when the computer determines it wants to cancel.
It wants to go to 4 cylinders.
Yeah.
Okay. So these solenoids, or 4 electric solenoids here, what do they do to these valves, to these lifters?
Well, when they open, it allows oil to flow to that passageway and to cause that push rod then to stop moving, basically.
Stop moving.
Stop opening the valve.
Yeah, stop opening the valve. And so it just cancels out the cylinder.
Exactly.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, one more way to save fuel, but another way to have some very expensive repairs down the road.
Yeah.
So I don't know if it's mostly caused by extended oil change intervals, or a bad design with the manifold here. We found several of them where the bolts were actually not tight in the manifold. Maybe that's a flaw there, and also maybe with the lifters themselves. But anyway, it's a complicated system.
It is.
Mandated basically by the federal government to meet the fuel economy standards, and that's why these engines become so complicated. What used to be pretty simple is not so simple anymore.